Hey everyone, hope you had a happy holiday, and I hope your New Year's has gone even better than your holiday. Krazy Karl and I are off visiting our respective families and friends over the holidays. But before we left, we decided it would be a good idea to give you a belated Christmas gift. So, in this video is going to be our future projects. We hope. Now, why we hope? Because most of them really do depend upon monetization. Because some of these parts are really expensive and hard to find, and some of the things we need to do to get some of this equipment running is a little expensive. So we do need about 800 of you to click that red subscribe button. This video was recorded last year when me and Carl went down to his family farm to rescue a 1978 Jeep that we lovingly call the Hillbilly Express. Now, if you saw that video, well, from the viewership numbers, most of you didn't, Carl diagnosed and installed a fuel pump, and I was attacked by hornets repeatedly. So please enjoy this video, and if you do enjoy this video, please subscribe, and if you want to see a camera guide get chased around by wild hornets, check out that video as well. Thank you.
From my parents' farm, some of my old vehicles, some of their vehicles that are probably future projects. First, start with this old Cherokee Chief. It has a V6, it has an inline 6 engine that has no compression. It will run, but it fouls all the plugs very quickly, spits all out the tailpipe, takes 2 batteries, and you clean everything and have all 6 cylinders running. Within about 2 hours, you're down to 1 cylinder. It will creep along on 1 cylinder though.
It will run, he says.
But it's something I plan on doing a full. It's got, like I said, the interior is kind of trash. It's shouldn't be locked, but it is.
Or is it rust frozen?
No, it's locked.
Actually,
like I said, it doesn't look like it should be, but it's locked.
All right, cool. I was kidding.
I've got seat components. I actually have some Levi seats in there that I got for repair because the mounting brackets are broken on these. So I've got all the parts to fix it. It is mildewy in there. It was that way before it sat, and it's been sitting for over a decade. So last time this thing run, it moved from over there by the cabin to over here. It took 2 car batteries and some ingenuity to get it running. I got the fire, got it moved, and it sat, and the tires have rotten, and I've got busted studs off them, and it needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I bought it mostly for the engine and transmission, and you can see I drove it to college.
Looks like you had a tarp over it and it rotted off.
Yeah, I need to put a new tarp over. But actually it was mildewing work for the tarp. Let's see if I can tell the date on the Georgia tag. It's Clark County, so I was still in Athens when it died. It actually doesn't have a date on it. It had a date on it, but I think it was there and you can't see it.
Yeah. That's where it would be. The sticker probably peeled off or something.
Yeah, but it's been sitting for a long time though.
Yep.
And it was bought in Butler, Georgia. Guy that owned it before me, I don't know if he bought it new or not, but he used it to haul trailers back and forth from Atlanta to Macon, Georgia. So it has a lot of miles on it. And he put a new engine in it. Apparently that's why he was selling it, because the new engine was garbage. So I got to deal with a garbage engine, and I kept it running as long as I could, and it finally gave up. And I don't think it had a V6. I don't think it had the 6-cylinder originally. I think originally it was a V8. I think it was a small block V8.
Yeah.
But either way, it's in good shape. It's not rusted. Has very little rust, just a few little spots. And there and there. So it's a good body and frame. It's just a matter of getting everything else.
I got it. Here's what you do. Tesla engine.
I had actually thought about converting this to electric, but it wouldn't be a Tesla engine. It would be a big electric motor with a gas generator.
That's what I was about to say.
Yep. That's actually been my kind of plan for it since I got to it and I got doing other ones. Originally, the Cherokee I'm working on, that drivetrain was going in here. I bought it for parts. I bought it, I think I paid $1,500 for it. And it ran and drove. New master cylinder in it because it did not braking was a suggestion.
Yeah.
So we fixed the brakes on it. I said my parents liked it, so they ended up fixing the brakes on it and fixing it up so it could be driven. And they drove it with the engine as it was until it blew the oil plug while it was idling and soft seized. And so we ended up needing a rebuild because it couldn't break it loose. It was seized, and it was seized good. The rings had to be pulled out. So it's been stroked and bored, basically. It's probably no longer a 360. It's probably a little bigger than that.
380?
It won't be quite a 380. I don't know what the displacement would be. No clue what the displacement would be because I don't know what size
374.
they replaced it with. But you could actually bore it out all the way to 401 because 401 used the same block.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll probably just be like a 365 or something. It'll be some standard one for a part. So it'll be whatever the new cylinder's size were to clear the bore. And it's probably not that much off of a 360.
More than likely not.
But yeah, this one is a future project. Then we have military vehicles too. This one, once again, runs and drives but won't stop. The air brakes work on it, but the pneumatic brakes, it's blown 2 lines, and we fixed those, and now all the lines are fixed, and we still have no brakes. So it's probably master cylinder. And so it's a matter of trying to find master cylinders for it. But as you can see, it still has air conditioning and extension cords coming from it. This I actually lived out of for almost a year. I lived out of that cabin for a year, then I lived out of this thing for a year because I had to live up by the house I built for my parents to make sure people didn't steal the wiring and the plumbing. So, yeah.
Good Lord.
So you're seeing 2 years of my life where I live.
Can we get the hood open and see the engine and everything?
Oh, yeah.
I'd ask them that one, but...
Actually, the tan one down there I'm going to pull open anyways because I know what's wrong with it. It doesn't run, but it's the fuel feed. But easy way is going to be just do this. I say it's going to be easy.
There you go. Look at the size of that.
But this fuel distribution unit is messed up on the other one. And yeah.
And bird's nest.
Yeah. Fire suppression unit.
Yeah, which is about rusted through.
Well, it's not burning though.
No.
It's suppressing fire still.
Sure.
But it needs some work.
It needs some
and this is a nice natural camouflage. I'm actually going to leave the lichens. I kind of like them on it.
Okay.
Natural camouflage.
Natural camouflage. It's all you. Let's go see the back of this thing.
Yeah.
I want to see around the whole thing first.
Oh, that's new.
Chunk of your paint's coming off.
Yep. It's a lot of layers of paint.
Cark. Chemically abrasive resistant coating. Cark.
Yep. It's thick too. They need a fresh coat of paint.
It does. That'll mean losing your lichens.
Yeah. But
I'm betting you got birds that live in that.
oh, probably, but you got to have that vent open. It's got a grate in the inside so stuff doesn't get in.
Okay.
But no nest in it currently, so.
Now that I see, probably not then. I don't know. You're taller.
Yeah, there's no nest in there, and the grate's still there. The grate's actually pretty heavy
There you
duty.
go. All right.
But, yeah.
Metal
Air
mesh.
brakes.
Metal honeycomb mesh for the grate.
Actually, big steel bars.
Okay.
So doesn't keep it, and it's got a metal mesh over the steel bars on the inside to keep bugs out. But
Oh, cool.
it's got a big heavy mesh in there to keep critters out. And most of the glass, I'm missing a couple pieces of glass. The air conditioner's the one of the ones that is missing glass. And it's got your slave feed, and it has the stuff for the. It still has the diesel heater in there. Which, hey, there we go. Oh, I disappeared. Poor shy guy. There he is. See the funnel spider?
You got a new visitor. No.
Living in one of the
New
batteries.
tenant. I don't know what those are.
I'm not real sure either.
Okay. And you got.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is, but okay.
It's moss, and it's where the metal's rusted. There's a few spots. It was already kind of rusty when we got it.
So what's this for?
That's a slave for a slave cable, so you can run power off of it.
What, can you like jump it or something?
You can jump it. You can also jump other vehicles, and you can run actual equipment. We have the cable set, and you can use it as a generator.
See, why doesn't simple one cable? That would make so much more sense. Look at how big that is. Tiny. Come on, frickin' vehicle manufacturers, go to that. Simple, tiny, easy, efficient.
And there's your snorkel.
Yep.
But it hasn't been moved in a while because it doesn't stop. You can tell that from the fact the grass is no longer growing under it.
Yeah.
So, we got this one that won't start. We got the other one that won't start. And it's hard to get anyone to work on those things anymore.
Moving on to the next one.
Yeah. Oh, actually, we got one right. This one also slowly. Dad keeps talking about possibly finishing this off to make it actual street legal. Pretty close. It's got headlights and brake lights. Things that have to be added are turn signals and windshield wiper. This is a Roxor by Mahindra.
Mahindra. I call him Mahindra.
I've heard it pronounced different ways. Pardon me, I've got something trying to bite me. But this is a nice little vehicle, turbo diesel, good low gear, manual steering. It does not have power steering. I've added the hitch and the steps on it and that stuff already, and Dad keeps slowly adding stuff to it. And I think eventually I may be adding turn signals to it. So
Pretty much.
Nice little vehicle. It's really nice around the farm. Great off-road.
Yeah, pretty much then it's just license plate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
those things are freaking, they're based on the old Jeeps, so they don't look like much, but they can go almost anywhere.
They're dated 1947 because 1947 they got awarded a contract to build military Jeeps in India. And they are still based on the military Jeeps using their modern diesel engine and a few little other things. But most of it's got modern components, but it's basically still just an old Jeep.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about getting a Jeep for an off-roader, this would be a good alternative.
Yeah.
Because it's technically is still a Jeep.
Yeah, and your price range is, I think they're still 16 to 26,000. But they've been out of production. They've changed the front end some, and I don't know their availability right now.
So the actual mileage may vary. Check your local dealers.
Yeah, I don't know the current prices, and I haven't looked in a while.
All right. Off to the next one.
Yep, off to the next one. All right, and then we've got this one. And the first one was made by Kaiser. This one was made by Diamond Rio. I think this one's a 50s, late 50s, or 50s model. I think that one was a 60s model.
Good.
But of course they've eaten all the fabric off the seat. Mice, friggin' mice.
Look like it's becoming one with nature.
Yep. This one's been sitting for a long time. And mice have eaten the fabric off, of course.
Yeah, that's what they do.
But 6-wheel drive. This is the one that it's the fuel control valve. It's the thing that makes it be able to run off anything. Well, it's gone bad. And I spent a lot of time fighting with it, trying to do different things to get it working, and can't get it working. That's why it's sitting here.
You might have to buy another one to get it.
But it's this thing right here. And I've pulled all these and cleaned them and tried to get it to feed and done all that, and it's this whole deal here. But I got it all running, but it's not distributing fuel.
So the trees decided to take it from you.
Yeah, it's been sitting here the trees will get cut out again. They're getting cut off annually. But we were pulling it and moving it, so stuff didn't cut around it. And then that thing's brakes went out, so we couldn't drag it anymore.
Oh.
So
I see the back of it.
Yep. This one I've actually considered, if I can get it going, using for a work vehicle, because it has the cattle side, which needs new wood. But the framing is what matters on them.
Yeah.
There's a troop transport. But we actually we were going to make a loading dock and use it for a cattle truck. And then we discovered that most of the auctions aren't set up for loading docks anymore. So, yeah, we abandoned that and just got a trailer. But I don't know if I can get that open or not. Because this hasn't been opened in a decade.
That's an older setup.
Yeah, you take this all the way out and knock that, and I ain't gonna fold it. Just hold the camera over it.
I see something in there.
It's still bed in there. Just still bed and leaves.
It looks like a hose or something.
Probably, yep. Garden hose. Didn't know that was in there. I can actually see over it. But yeah, I've thought about if I get this running, I can use this as an equipment truck.
Yeah.
Change the tailgate a little bit and put a ramp. Just pull the hinges, reinforce it, and put a ramp off of it.
Yeah.
It will definitely go everywhere.
Now, it's designed for that.
Mm-hmm.
These things are designed to literally go everywhere.
Yep, and carry 2.5 tons.
Yeah.
Which will be any equipment I'm using.
Now it's just getting to that fuel feed issue fixed.
That's gonna be the challenge.
Like I like your solution to keep things out of the exhaust there, the coffee can.
Coffee can, yep.
I mean, it works.
Yeah. It had somewhere we have the stock, the bend.
Yeah.
But it came undone. It got knocked off for all intents and purposes. And it wouldn't go back on, and that was an easy solution.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think the clamp that held it on rusted through. I think's what happened. And once again, finding parts for these things are a challenge.
Yeah.
Because it's been, well, it's from the 50s. That one's a newer one. That's about as new as you get, and it's from the 60s.
I understand. Yes. Well, it's doing a pretty good job growing lichen or whatever that is.
Yeah, lichens.
Lichens like it.
But those sides all flop down too, so they sit flat. And that's where I was saying I could pull the bench seats off, pull that railing out, drop those, and use it as an equipment truck easily. Just had to add a ramp.
Yeah.
And then we have my dad's truck, which we've had a long time. This one's fully functional. This is used as a farm truck. It's kept in good shape though. We've had this since the 90s. It had an engine replacement. Only thing it really needs is new exhaust gaskets on the engine. Exhaust leaks up there, but that's not really hurting anything other than it's a little smoky. But it runs good. It moves good. 4-speed manual, 4-wheel drive, as you can see.
Look at that interior.
The interior has been well taken care of.
Beautiful.
And remember, this is used as a work truck.
Oh man.
The biggest thing we had is those latches that are notorious for falling apart, fell apart on the glove box.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
that is a beautiful interior.
Original color, and paint has been touched up, but it's real color. Problems these vehicles always have, the drain channels are in here. Well, they get plugged up and they're hard to keep clean, and we had it fixed somewhat, but it's starting to push through again, so it's got to be fixed again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, and it's 80 or an 80. I think both this and my Cherokee are 81s, if I remember correctly.
Is there a sticker on the door?
I believe so. Trying to remember. Cherokee's an 81. I think this was too. I
just remember it always used to tell me when it told me in my tire pressure.
January of 81.
Yeah.
So I think they're both 81s. And they both have inline 6s. This one works though. Although it still has, it's going to be repaired again. I have bought a new arm for this, but we cannot get this arm off. So that's something, that is about the only project I have on this one, other than maybe trying to get the radio to work again. Dad had a new radio put in, speakers, and it worked for a couple years, and then it shorted and quit working. And I had to unhook the wiring because it was running battery down.
Yeah.
So it had no radio.
I'm just taking a look at the grill here. It is a beautiful truck. Oh.
And it's got the inline system. This one will show.
All right.
This is all well working. Doors open easy. All the mechanisms work. I say that, and it's stuck.
Yeah, Jangstedt. You may have to do the mechanics thing on it. I don't know. I don't know where the catch is and all that jazz.
Catch is right here, but it's not that. It's this latch over here. There's the latch, and it's all right. Now I got to pull it. That gets caught every once in a while. That has to do with a spring, and I still haven't found a spring to fit it.
Well,
which is a good thing I was here to do this. What happens is this gets caught there. You can see where this is pulled up, and it gets caught on the metal for the grill, and you can see where that's been pried down because of that, and that's where it always gets caught.
Yeah.
And then it won't release from that spring because this is caught down like that.
Yeah, that'll do that.
And there's the engine. Like I said, it's been
well maintained. Okay.
The only thing you've got is this exhaust gasket's leaking. That's why it's so sooty. Is the exhaust gasket's leaking.
So basically all it really needs is replace the exhaust gasket, and it's kind of
pull the exhaust manifold off, put a new gasket in, put it back.
Yeah. And that's kind of a pain. So it's like
it's one of those things. It's not a high priority. You see, as you notice, it's pretty well the same fuel pump. It's pretty much the same fuel pump, just a little different setup. And it's easy to get to on this vehicle. Suppose the other one was a nightmare to get to.
Yes.
And this one, this is not what caused this. This is a replacement of heavy duty. This is what I'm talking about with these things. You end up, they start shorting out and it will melt them. This is the ignition module. And that's what this is from. This is from a previous one that melted.
Okay.
what they do when they go bad. They overheat and they melt the sealant out of them. So.
Well, nice to see they're consistent, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, this is a pretty cool little vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
And this is basically what the inside of that Cherokee looks like, except for it's had electrical fire, so the electrical's all a nightmare.
yeah.
It caught fire. I had the firewall catch fire in the middle of what was pretty much a tropical storm. So I was absolutely soaked in a downpour with a fire extinguisher putting the firewall out.
Only you.
I had a firewall catch fire in a monsoon. So like I said, that Cherokee's been a perpetual problem. It was one of those I bought, and I thought, oh, this will be. I had a CJ at the time, and I loved the CJ's engine, but the frame was rusting out, and I couldn't do metal work. And I thought, well, that one's in good shape. I'll buy it, and continue just doing a little the mechanical stuff. And it's the inline six. I knew the inline six was good, and it was a more modern inline six. It has a 90 or 91 inline six in it. Because it was supposed to have been, like I said, they swapped engines out. The engine finally gave up, and they swapped engines.
Yeah.
And they put a garbage engine in it. So.
You need another.
Yeah. And that's the heater core. And that was the last thing I had to do was replace this line.
It's nice and easy to get to.
Yeah,
everything's easy.
Nice to work on. The 6 cylinders, compared to the older 6 cylinders, are nice to work on because you have lots of room.
Yeah. Oh. All right.
Make sure you did do it again. There.
Here we go. Okay, and I'll show off the bed of the truck, I guess, and all that.
Yeah. I'm just making sure everything lasts good, and it is, and it's not stuck now, so it's not going to give Dad trouble.
Okay. Good.
And it's had a CB at one point too. That's what that is.
Yeah.
The antenna I think got left in Alabama where we bought this thing. And the tailgate,
nice and good.
tailgate looks kind of funky because it's not the original tailgate. The tailgate's actually off of a red one.
Ah.
And it was beat up by this when we got it, and we painted it. You can see on the inside where it's used as a farm vehicle. Candy apple red.
Well, y'all did a good job matching the paint.
But this is the original
Yeah.
color. So, and the rest of it, you can see where it's rubbed down. The old copper is just a tad darker than the new paint, but that's just from age. So it's an exact match. And it wasn't a top dollar paint job.
No.
It wasn't a Mako special, but it was this was Macon, Georgia, by a shop that I don't think is there anymore, which is a shame. But they did color match, and they did multiple levels, and they would do full restos, and they would also do what we had done on this one, which was perfect color match, perfect paint. They took all the trim off, they did all that. But it's not and they touched stuff up, but it wasn't you sand it down, take all the metal off, and do this, that, and the other. So it's one of those. It's going to be. And the guy said it'll look great.
Mm-hmm.
It'll look great, and it'll last perfectly for about a decade, and it did last perfectly for about a decade. But then we've also rubbed paint off of it. It's been used for hay. It's been used for moving. It's been used as a truck. That's why we didn't go with the whole factory restore on the paint and bodywork, because it was still going to be used as a truck.
So why use it, restore everything if it's still basically a truck?
And that's also what we did. We did with the bumpers, which you can see the powder coat's starting to get busted off, but we had these powder coated. Yeah. And this looks a lot better than the gray it was.
It does. This is a beautiful truck. It is. Mm-hmm. And next to it is your dad's Ferrari.
Yep. And if you notice, the tractor and the rock shower are the same color.
Yes. See, the great thing is, it is really hard to get a, I keep wanting to call it a coupe now. You know what I mean. Convertible.
Convertible.
Thank you. It's really hard to get a convertible Ferrari, and he's
One right there.
One right there. All right. Was that about do it?
Yeah, that about does it. Yeah. Well, we have a theme going though. Other than the deuce and a halves, everything that's diesel is blue. Everything that's a modern diesel is blue.
Yeah.
I think the same thing will happen if my dad gets a diesel truck. It's going to end up being blue.
Yeah, well, it should be.
So it's uniform. If it's blue, it's using diesel. If it's red or green or orange, it's gas.
Makes sense. It's easy to identify.
Oh, Navajo blue, but still, it's not blue. It's turquoise. Blue-green.
I would get so confused. I'd be putting diesel in the gas in the diesel. Why is this not running? All right. I know that's not a Hornet. You don't have to tell me. Okay.
Buzz.
All right. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all have a good one. And please like, share, subscribe. If you stuck around this long and you did not enjoy this content,
torture someone else with it.
Yeah, share it with an enemy. After all, why should you suffer alone?
Y'all have a good one.